Hey, Chris, how are you today?
Good. How are you?
Good, thank you. Thanks so much for hopping on to chat QB1 with me today. We're chatting quite a few quarterbacks this week. We're going to keep you busy, so let's get right into it. Let's start with Daniel Jones. Halfway through the season, things are going great for Jones and the Giants. So, do you think that they can keep going? Do you think that they can keep winning with Jones as their starter?
I I guess. I mean, he's been doing it all year long, so why not continue it? The truth is this is his first winning season in the league, so there is some hesitation if he can continue it over the remainder of the season, or if the beginning of the season has kind of just been a little bit more fool's gold. They have had some lucky breaks in some games earlier in the year. So, I think they've possibly made their own luck in, getting those breaks and everything, but we'll see if they can continue it for the remainder of the season.
You sounded really confident there. In that vein, let's keep chatting about him for a second. Do you think Brian DeBoll can transform Jones into a winner?
Right now, they are winning their games that they're supposed to be winning. They are in the playoffs if it started right now. And Jones has shown some improvement in his game as well. Currently, he's completing 65% of his passes, which is the best of his career. And then he's also not turning the ball over as well. He's only throwing an interception about 0.9% of the time. So again, those are some really good marks for him for his season, and obviously for the Giants as a whole. Completing a high amount of passes and not giving the ball to their team sets you up for some success.
Absolutely. Do you think that he will stay with the Giants next season?
Oh, that's a really good question. I think so. I do. I think the Giants will bring him back. I wouldn't be surprised if it was a kind of potentially his best season of his career. I don't think they'd want to necessarily be locked into him long term at a really big financial rate or anything like that. I mean, I think Daniel Jones is, a top 20 quarterback in the league without question. I think the real question is he a top 15 quarterback? Depending on what Giants fan you're talking to, some would say yes, and some would say, yeah, I think that's about right. I think he's number 15. So, and I think that's kind of where the question is, do you want to bring him back knowing that he is, probably better than half the other quarterbacks in the league, but he's not necessarily a guy that's going to take you to the playoffs on a consistent basis or be winning a lot of games or anything like that. So, could you do better out there? Yeah, I think you could. But again, as we've seen in the NFL, it's really hard to find a franchise quarterback. And so when you got somebody like Jones, who's shown that he can be one of the better ones in the league, it could be hard to pass on them.
Absolutely. So I do talk to quite a bit of Giants fans, and some of them
Okay.
seem to have quite a bit of hope. So to answer the question for them, is this Giants team for real?
Oh, Giants fans probably aren't going to like me on this, but I don't think they're necessary for real. Like I said, they've gotten some fortunate bounces in some games that they've went on to win, which give them credit. They made the plays when they got those breaks, so you can't take anything away from them. But if you look at some of their team, look at the team, it's not necessarily something that brings a whole lot of encouragement to them. They're 20th in offense, they're 13th in defense. So you're looking at kind of middle of the pack, a little bit lower in the rankings there. So really, is that something that can get to the playoffs? Again, right now, if the playoffs started there, a 6 seed. But if you look at some of the teams that are below them, like San Francisco and like Arizona, you see something with those teams where it's like, yeah, I could see those teams passing the Giants and making it in. They just have a little bit more feel to them, like they're better. Where the Giants, they've kind of gotten lucky a little bit, and good for them. They've taken advantage of it and they've won the game. So why can't it continue? And they make it in the playoffs. I just don't know if they're a very scary team that anybody would be fearful of in the playoffs, or that is really a legit playoff team.